Hi, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Female Esports League. My name is Eris, and we are about to enter into the grand finals of the combined qualifiers for Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Philippines. We have come a very, very long way, and finally, we are at the final matchup, and we are into the first game. This is going to be a BO5 between Hertz, Emot, and Lunar. Who's going to get this one in the back? It doesn't matter for the qualifiers because both teams have already made it into the FSL lead. We just want to make sure we get the first and second placings done because they will also get separate prizes for this. So they are vying for a difference in price of about 100, about twice the amount. Second place gets 150 SGD, and then we have 5 players that individually will get 35 USD coupon each, so a total of 175 USD. While in first place they get 250 SGD plus 5 of the players will get 70 USD coupon. That's a total of 250. On top of it, they also will get the flight and accommodation. That's for first and second place. If I'm not too wrong, just want to make sure that it's right. But with that being said, let's go into game 1, shall we? Hertz Emot. They will pick up the Maja, Quicknock, and Yena. So pretty much the same draft from the previous games. From 8 Hexa. And then we have the side of Lunar picking up the Valheim Richter as well as the Zoo. So first time that we're going to be seeing Richter getting played in this qualifiers. And we're going to be seeing the Zeno, Yon, Ras, as well as Laurel being banned out. And on the other side, they will ban out the Violet, Tau Anas, Trixie, as well as Zip. They pick up the Varus. Okay, Varus getting picked up is quite a good pick. Like, she's a really good top laner. She should do well against the Yena. And then Quicknock and so they are drafting blow for blow. So it really comes down to who's gonna be playing that mid for the side of Lunar. Interesting. Locked down the team as well, the Whip. So Whips was banned out in the last game against Hertz. Obviously, Whips is a really high amount of burst. We talk about the bow as well. So this is the reason why they want to ban out the bow and the ultimate coming out from Whips. Quite high amount of burst, decent AoE damage. And obviously those crits will hurt. So it looks like we're gonna have Lunar contemplate a little bit. They need a mid laner, and at this point I think there's not too many mids left that I say will work. A net will be pretty decent. I think the net should do well against the fight, but I think they want to set up more of an AoE damage because as of now they got Zil, Valheim, they have Richter and Varese, a lot of single target focus heroes. I mean, Varese is AoE, but if you really break down how the hero works or the fact that she's gonna be top lane, they need something that has the AoE, a bit of utility in that fight, a bit of CC as well. So a net should work. She has the wind cuffs as well as the tornado wall. But that is the draft complete for game 1 between these two teams. Not too bad, I would say, coming up from both sides. I mean, it is pretty even. Having the net coming in, does help a little bit of the CC on the path on the side of Lunar. Remember, if you want to catch all the previous games, you can head on down to FSL on Facebook and Instagram.
Minions will be deployed in 5 seconds.
We also have VODs on YouTube for those who are interested. So this is the first time that we will be seeing Lunar like play on the English stream. So we're gonna see the Whips as well as Teamy down bot lane. They are putting a little bit of pressure onto the Varus. Snowy down to half HP. So they're gonna trade out over here. The Wind Cuff's not gonna land. And we're gonna have the Richter down the top side against the Yenna. So both teams have pretty much been unstoppable coming into the grand finals. I don't think they have yet to drop a single game between these two, I do believe. Well, looks like Quicknock already on the first. Hans has that level 4. They will take the Spirit Sentinel away from Lunar Light. And now they want to turn the fight. Maja forces the flicker there. And Windy is committing to this. She used the ultimate and now she's in a really bad spot. Takes one shot from the tower and that's going to be the first blood going in the way of Hertz Emot. I mean, they dragged the Windy all the way back underneath the first tower and immediately 3 heroes on the side of Hertz is going to get the TP in. Really good fight coming up from Hertz. Managed to fight really well. Richter looking in the upper half of the mid bush. Oh, top side in a 1v1. Stormy taking decent amount of damage. Tezzy comes up a little bit late, but they might be able to get the steal from with this buff. Yes, they can. Hertz stepping up into gear 2 right now. Teamy with the hook. Now the first one for the Berserker will come up. A net getting pulled up. They've got Emot surrounded. Can they have the damage though? Here comes the ultimate coming in. From the Whips, not enough though. And Teamy will be the second one to fall to get the first kill onto the Yenna as well. And that's going to allow Victor to push the top lane. Meanwhile, bot lane Whips in a little bit of trouble. Zero trying to go for the trade for Zero. It's a 1-on-1. Good trade though. I mean, Lunar like trying to slow down the farm coming up from the Whips. Seems to be working out really well. And Quicknock should have this in the bag. One more hit. And Teamy will come in to ensure the job is done. With a slow. Oh, they do not even get the kill to Varus. And as of now, it looks like the scientists will come up on the Whips. They definitely do want to burst. Meanwhile, Maja and Kimi still trying to put pressure in mid, still trying to draw the net away. So it looks like I was wrong. It's going to be a Valheim down in the middle lane. And it's fine because I'm sure that he will have that burst damage needed. Meanwhile, top side, a little bit of a dive coming in from Hertz. And they are going to pay the price. They might just lose him instead. No, they don't. They get Stormy up. And more importantly, they get Valheim. Will be pushed down the middle lane alongside with the net. Lunar like doing a really good job. And looks like they finally have their first test in their way. Like gonna start the Mr. Dragon. No contest on the side of Hertz, but we do see the Spear of Longevity coming up on the lane. Meanwhile, bottom side, they do force Timmy to use the ultimate. I'm pretty sure they want to force this take on the tower. And Maja has to be careful positioning. He will lose that tier 1 tower. One more hit should do the trick. Oh, tried to be a little aggressive there. Tezzy trying to go for the steal onto the raid, but I've got spotted out by Richter. Good job by Stormy to have that map awareness and make sure that her jungle's buff is still there.
A red team tower has been destroyed. A red team tower has been destroyed.
So it looks like both sides will trade the towers on the respective lane. That is going to be the Slick Sting coming up for Whips. Here we go, mid lane. Zero jumping onto Whips. Not enough damage, and Windy will fall once again, but Richter is there to do the cleanup. And now Yena will come in. The stun, the AoE stun, it might be good. Look at that, Whips with the AoE damage. They clear 4 members out, and it's all down to Valheim. There's just no way he can get out in time. And now the Whips will come online. The burst damage too much to bear, and Lunar Light will lose all of their members. Popney picked up 3 kills off the back of that fight. And they pick up 2 towers down in mid. That kind of allows Tezzy to go for the Might Golem in the opponent's jungle. And just in one fell swoop, they do a reverse sweep about 6k in net worth. That's why you cannot discount the effect of the Whips in the AoE fight.
A blue team tower has been destroyed.
Oh, Timmy going and gets the hook. Maja will join the rest of the fight, and Yena now currently on the back line. But Whips in a lot of trouble. Zil just sticking right on top of her. They got the target that they want. They might be able to bring the quick knockdown as well. Maja dropping low, half HP, skills on cooldown. And now the Richter a little bit out of range, but they do secure the kill onto the quick knock. Well, that wasn't so bad of a fight for Lunar Light. You can see Lunar like trying to force that fight coming through. That was a really good initiation coming up from Lunar. Like, I mean, they know and they recognize the risk of having that Whips drop into a late game, so they wanna get any Qs that they can onto this Whips. Looks like Windy will pick up the Sage Golem before heading towards the Dark Slayer area. Rank Breaker currently up for the Knock. She's starting to make her, or rather she's working currently on the Omni Arms. Should come up pretty soon. AG is up on the net. And look at Lunar Light's positioning. They're all sticking around the Dark Slayer area. They want to get the gank in if they can get one Q. They might be able to go for the Dark Slayer. Oh, TV now, they managed to get the hook onto Annette. One more hit should do the trick. Tornado will not be able to keep them out of position. But in trade, they will lose the Abyssal Dragon, so 1-for-1 trade. But now it's a 4v5 fight. Lin going to be joining up with the rest of the team. It's important now that Lunar Light do not get their members hooked by Timmy, but in a 4v5 that's going to give the Dark Slayer over to Hertz. That's the scary thing about Hertz Emot. They have a ton of burst. Yes, in the Lunar Light do have the Zeal, but they need the position to really spread out the members of Hertz and not be all clumped up together. If not, the whips can do a lot of damage, especially the Woo and Foe. And that's an ultimate for those who are interested to know what that is. Looks like right now once we put Drake alongside the wave. And now Zero. Oh, they find Yena. Is this good enough? No, they do not complete the Q. And now here comes the reverse fight coming up for Hertz. Whips dropping the ultimate right there and then. But they do have enough burst here coming on Stormy. Victor with the first one to fall. Snowy coming with the half moon crescent. But it's not enough to bring down the Marja. Marja coming in with the first kill. That is 3 members down. They have the Drake down the bot lane. This is the perfect scenario. They only lost the Crick down. And now they're going to complete the kill on the Crick onto the Valheim. Rainy on the run. The slow coming in for Marja. She will stand, but for how long can she push back the members of Hertz? And this should be GG. Rainy coming out of the Tornado Wall, but I don't think it's enough. The room will keep her alive, but not for long. Hertz Emot, they get the first game in hand. Decisive fight right there. Getting gank in. Manage to find the Q. But more importantly, for those who missed out what happened, you know, I think Hertz did a really fantastic job. We saw Yena getting caught up position and the speed at which they turned the fight. Man, the quick rotations, realizing that the members got caught. Look at how quickly the rest of the members of Hertz Emot jumped to the rescue of I would say Lin. I mean Lin was just on the run, she tried to go on the back, and then instantly the moment she got caught by the Zil committed to it. By the way, you could see Lunar like they were just desperately trying to get any kills that they can, and the fact that they failed to kill the Yena gave Hertz Emot the opportunity to come back with the stun, and rather with the counter engagement. You got Marja and Timmy coming in, whips the AoE damage, and Quicknock just going for the backline. Yes, Tezzy did die in that engagement, but because of that, they did manage to pick up both the Richter as well as the Varus. And with 2 of that down, I mean, Zero is just really squishy target, and Valheim just has completely no escape mechanism. He's pretty much got burst damage, but no escape from the lineup of Hertz. With that being said, congratulations to Hertz. They get game 1 in hand, and they're looking unstoppable as of now. They do finally break the winning streak of Lunar Light. Can they continue into game 2? We'll see right after this break. Alright, welcome back to the FSL circuit. This is Aris, or rather I am Aris, and now we are currently into game 2 between Lunar Light and Hertz Emot. And yeah, I mean Hertz came out strong with game 1. We all saw, or I saw what happened right there. It was a little bit unfortunate coming in for Lunar Light, because they were so close. They were hanging the balance, and they tried to get the kill onto the Yena, but they didn't manage to get the kill. And because of that, Hertz Emot saw the opportunity to get the turn, flip the fight back, and they got a team, pretty much a 4-man wipe from there on. There was nothing Anet could have done in that situation. Looks like we're gonna see a Trickzig come out from the side of Lunar Light. They ban out the Rust as well as the Zip. And on the side of Hertz Emot, looks like they want to ban out the Zeno as well as the Maja. It's not too bad. I think Hayate getting picked up on the side of Lunar Light isn't the worst of it for Hertz. They can actually just pick up Violet if they want to. There's also Whips that's still available. Although with the Liliana, I'm not sure if they do want to pick up the Whips, because, you know, Whips is just not mobile, right? She has a ton of damage, but she's not exactly the most mobile hero. Her ultimate is a channeling skill. And they ban out the Zil, which ironically, like, not to bash the performance of the Zil, right? The Zil did really well, but not being able to, constantly not being able to finish the job, right? Going with the ultimate, trying to commit to a fight, and yes, there's a lot of good damage being done, and even throughout the match, I think Zero was trying to create a lot of space. But in game 1, you could see even for the first blood, she committed the fight, she used the ultimate, but the way that Hertz Emot dealt with that, they stuck together, they shed the damage coming from the Zero's ultimate, and they dragged her all the way underneath the turret, and that just turned out to be a really bad fight coming out from the Zero and the rest of the team. And similarly to the last fight coming into game 1, that was also one of the reasons why they lost the game, because they were not able to finish off what they started on the Yena, and because of that, you know, Hertz Emot could just come back from that particular gank. And you also have to give it to Hertz. The rotations was so quick. The moment Yena got caught, they instantly came back to actually go for the win. But this time around, they will pick up the Yon as well as the D-Rock. So a lot of bursts on the side of Hertz Emot. And I'll be really surprised if a Lubu was picked up right here. I think Lubu is a pretty decent top laner. In my opinion, at level 1, one of the most useful heroes as well. Does allow you to go really aggressive. You got the Red Stallion. That can kind of help you with the aggression. And obviously with the passive, every hit does bring the cooldown. And you have the Conqueror. But on the downside, if you have too much of a lockdown coming in from Hertz Emot, then you might have a little bit of trouble with that, because the only thing that, or rather the way you can stop Lubu is just to make sure that he doesn't get the regen up, right? So you're just gonna have a lot of lockdown, make sure that he doesn't get Conqueror off, and even if he does, be able to actually stop that lifesteal from coming in. With that being said, that is your draw for game 1. We're gonna be seeing Liliana, Lubu, Volcav, Krizik, as well as Hayate for Lunar Light, whereas on the side of Hertz Emot, they will be playing with Pena, Yon, D-Rock, Yena, and Krigna. pretty interested to see how the
Welcome to
side of Hertz Emot is going to use the D-Rack.
Get ready. Minions will be deployed in 5 seconds. Prepare to engage.
The thing about having a D-Rack in your team is that he's a kind of a passive-aggressive player, right? You have this, on one hand you have like a ton of burst with first and second skill, and then on the other hand you have the Genesis barrier that is an ultimate that provides a barrier, but at the same time does have a decent amount of team utility, because you know you do have that ability to block all enemy interaction, but it does cost 5% of mana, so it's a very mana consuming hero D-Rack overall. But you're also able to regen obviously with by absorbing the projectile, so it really comes down to the right position to use. And I like the way that they're setting up for this coming up from the Hayate. So every time he throws a shuriken, and you know, every time that gets blocked out, it will allow the D-Rack to actually regen with the regenerative barrier. So I foresee that this is how they want to take the fight. But I like this Lubu pickup. This Lubu pickup will be pretty interesting. We haven't seen a Lubu coming into this particular qualifiers. We have seen Lubu getting picked up in the Taiwan qualifiers itself. In fact, 57% of the time, that is the number for Lubu getting picked up in the Taiwan qualifiers. Not so much in the Thailand qualifiers. There used to be a time when Lubu was the meta hero for Taiwan. I guess it's still considered is. It still is. Hertz trying to apply a little pressure down in the bottom lane, but losing light. They will sell for the Spirit Sentinel. Meanwhile, the rest of Lunar Light just gonna be clearing up the wave, so no aggression coming up from both sides yet, no invades. Nothing of that sort. Mr. Dragon gonna be dragged out of position as well. Liliana hitting that level 4. And the good thing about vocab is that now they have someone that can act as a front line alongside the Lubu. The downside is they don't have a full-on tank. Looks like they want to go for the pool. They will lock the Pena down in place. Is this going to be the first blood? Maybe it is. Oh, they have the heal Windy taking a lot of hits, coming out Cloudy in a bad position. Hayate might just go down. The ulti comes out from the D-Rack and they get the first blood. And not only that, now quick knock onto the Liliana. Yon with the stun, and they might just get a second one. That's going to be another kill for the Yon. And Windy, TPing in such a dangerous spot. But she will make it out of there. But I think Hertz should be able to secure that first tower in the bot lane. And not only that, they will also get the Abyssal Dragon. Hertz Emot having a lot better early game. And for Lunar Light, I mean, it's not all the flaws. I mean, they still have a vocab that can kind of try to carry them into the late game. They got Hayate, which is pretty much going to be a really good split pusher. Zig trying to make something happen here with the pool. And vocab has the ultimate, has to be careful, but once again, Rainy will go down. And you can see how comfortable, you know, Hertz are on this Yon, instantly swapping to top lane, trying to push up to the counter lanes. And obviously Akira making all the plays from mid lane as well. Now Stormy going down to the bottom side. Cloudy having a little bit of a tough time, taking a couple of hits coming out from the Yawn. The stun comes out. Oh, and they instantly blow her up. And I think Rainy might fall as well. They do not want to play too aggressive. And now they're gonna abuse with the Yawn. You can see how comfortable Hertz are on this Yawn. There's just no answer to this early game push. But Hayate is indeed a late game ADC or marksman. So they have to wait for a little bit. Payna coming in, but he has the stun. Payna coming in to join the battle as well. Windy, they might have caught him Vocab in a bad spot. Has to use standing together position. Looks like we're going to see Quick now pick up the Abyssal Dragon. And while that happens once again, Yawn starting off another kill, 3-0 and 2. A perfect game so far.
Blue team tower has been destroyed.
And now Lubu caught in a bad position in the jungle. They start the fight, but now Quick now they can turn the fight. Oh, they get a 3-man pull from the Quickzik. But that Genesis wall barrier will come up, followed by a shot. But that's not going to find anyone. But it does buy some time for Yawn as well as Payna to constantly push the top side. And this is a very, very scary pacing coming up for Hertz Emot. Once again, Trixie trying to make something happen. Vocab going to be joining up on the fight for the first time. We might see the Yawn fall. Same goes for Payna.
The light grows dark.
Double kill.
But it is 7 minutes and 30 seconds in. Hertz Emot with a goal lead of 4k. Over the 4k. Yep.
Spirits crying out.
Quick now, Pine just entered a very bad spot. Wow, what? Oh, Tessie got a little bit lucky there. Kind of dodged every single skill coming up from Lunar, like they threw so many stuns down. Once again, another gag onto Quickzik down the bottom lane. And now they want to set something off. They have the Yawn pushing right in front. Hayate with the stun to the skies coming in. And it's got to be a quick double kill on the bottom lane. Now Vocab, what can he do here? Alongside the Lubu, Genesis barrier comes out for the D-Rock. And they not only get the bottom tower, but they can push for even more. AG is coming up for Lubu. But that ulti coming out from the Genesis barrier from the D-Rock will claim him.
Destroyed.
And now with all the heroes coming up from Lunar, looks like we're gonna see Hertz Emot kind of back off. Ravalda just doing a really good job at making sure that this Yawn is babysitted, giving her the freedom to just go right around. Yena now in bot lane kind of senses that something is wrong, spots out the trick that gets pulled back. Do they have enough burst? Yes, they can. The room will only keep her alive for so long. That's gonna be the family talent for Hayate. Good try coming up from Lubu as well. Tries to use second skill to steal away the Dark Slayer, but there's just no way that's gonna happen. Omniarm's up for the quick knock. Looks like we're gonna see Akira use the Astral Loop just to clear up the wave. Now we've got a team stuck in two sides. They managed to get the lead there now, but the Yon is caught in a bad position. That doesn't matter though. They still managed to get enough damage onto the back line. Drake once again with the pull. The Jet's Barrier comes out. Astral Loop just to slow down the push. But finally, looks like Lunar will have a good fight. It's a good thing that they managed to keep Tezzy alive on this quick knock, because now they can have Drake push on their side. Can you hear the spirit cry? Good timing on it as well, because now, you know, at least when the Drake reaches that tier 3 tower on the top side, we have all the heroes on the end of Hertz Emot coming up. Lunar buying a bit of those kills, slowly closing that gap, but it is still a 6k goal lead between two of these teams. And Rainy has been playing exceptionally well this time, constantly using camouflage and pull to put the team into disarray once again with the pull, but this time round. Now coming onto the top end. Zig in a really bad spot. Lucky enough to not get caught up by the Astral Loop. Once again, they're trying to abuse the rage of the Yon. Drake already down. Look at that, they're trying to force this one for coming up. Here now onto the back line. They do manage to get the trick tick, but the Yon is the one that they have to keep alive. That doesn't matter though. The Genesis Barrier comes up. Here now in the 1v1 with the Lubu. And looks like Hayate will join pretty soon. Is there enough lifesteal? No, there isn't. And that's going to be a 5-man wipeout from Hertz. And Lunar will be happy with that. On the downside, they do lose that tier 3 tower on the bot as well as the mid lane. Or rather only the mid lane, because the bot one was already taken the last time round. I think at this point the only thing they can do is pretty much pick up a tier 1 tower at the top side and maybe go for the Abyssal Dragon with the Lubu.
A red team tower has been destroyed.
And now Hertz Emot, they know what they must do. They find the pain out in the jungle. Good damage there by Hayate. And especially with the Fenris talent, it's gonna hurt quite a bit. Oh, they run straight into Tezzy, who's in a bad spot. And that's gonna be the go-to signal to pick up the Dark Slayer. Super minions coming in from the mid and bottom lane. That's gonna delay a bit of time from Lunar Light.
The great dragon has been summoned.
It looks like they're gonna put it in the bot lane. Hertz Emot. Have to be careful about not throwing this game away. They have been the lead throughout, but that 6k goal lead has now dropped to 3k. half in just 2 minutes. Stormy gets caught out, Rich Abyssal Dragon picked up by Windy.
Be enveloped in darkness. Spirits crying out.
So Lubu has to push up the top side while the rest of Lunar Light are going to be babysitting this Drake, making sure that he reaches safely into the base. While the rest of Hertz emotes, they will get what they can from the rest of the map. Do they want to turn the fight right now? Oh, Hayate sticking up onto the yacht, and this might be the condition that they need Trick Tick once again with the pull down. They get the Paina at the same time. And this is a really bad situation for Hertz Emote. They lost 2 of their cores that have been rotating throughout the map. They do manage to get the Drake down, which is more than enough as of now.
A red team tower has been destroyed.
Now pushing up onto the top side. Gets spotted by Lubu once again. And this is the downside of Hertz Emote's draft, you know, they're a really squishy lineup. Yes, they have the Paina. But none of them are able to soak up the damage, and now is where Hayate can shine. We did speak about the advantage that the Yon had early game alongside the Paina and the Quick Knock. But now it seems like that late game draft from Lunar Light is starting to pay off. Paina once again getting caught in a bad position. And now Lubu is going to be attempting to take down this Yon. Gets caught out. Dirak's ultimate will not be able to pick him up. But look at that, the AoE damage coming in. But is it enough? Yon's still alive.
The great dragon has been summoned.
Shut down.
And they immediately drop the Drake in the middle of the lane.
A red team tower has been destroyed.
Volcath tries to go in with the catch. Kritik unable to follow up. And they still have the Drake down half HP, but here comes Lubu from the side. They do get the Paina. It looks like Lunar Light will clean up the rest of Hertz Emo's jungle.
Spirits crying out.
At this point, Hertz Emo finding it even hard to step off the base. And all these like gangs coming up, and look at that. Speaking of gangs, we might find another one. Liam once again getting pulled back by the Kritik. And Dirak just jumping right into it. They have the quick knock, but she's not willing to commit into this fight. Tazzy trying to find an opening. And look at that, all at one spot. 4 heroes dead. And it all started with a Lunar Light gank onto the Yena. Something that which they failed to do in the previous game. And pretty much Quick Knock is now at full build. In fact, same go for a lot of these heroes. I think only Dirak as well as Pena are left with a couple of items to build up, and on the side of Lunar Light, they pretty much full build on everyone as well. Only Trixie has one more item to complete, or two more items to complete, just like pretty much his counterpart.
Can you hear the spirit?
Seven, 5, and 3, a roller coaster ride for Cloudy. And now they want to get the pull. Trixie once again gets a 3-man pull, but here comes Windy under camouflage. The Vocaf tries to stick right on top of the Yawn, but not enough damage, and the whole team is torn apart. And now it looks like her emotes are trying to go on the chase. If Pena can get a stun in, that might be able to catch up to members of Lunar like. It looks like they want to get the Enraged Abyssal Dragon started up. This is going to be able to give them the Dark Blessing that they need. The Chiva are going to be chasing the Hayate away. Global Strobe. And here comes Lubu chase now. Pena caught up by Rainy, but it doesn't matter, the stun will come in. And they're really close to completing the Dark Slayer. Yes, it is. So, 2 major buffs for 2 separate teams.
The world is better without you.
The Fairy Tooth will come out for the Yawn. So a little bit for switching in terms of items, going for a little bit more piercing damage against the Volkov. Crazy now trying to get something started once again. Cloudy constantly trying to be the playmaker of the team, trying to catch someone out with the pool.
The great dragon has been summoned.
A little bit trading blows right on top, but they spot out the Vocab. They instantly burst him down, and this is a bad mistake. I think this might be a little bit of a miscommunication, because Windy thought they wanted to go for the fight, and it instantly collapsed on her. Now Lubu on the way, but Yena sticking up onto Rainy. She's not willing to give this one up just yet. Quicknut now jumping in from nowhere, gets Rainy. But I think Tessie will go down here. She does have the resurrection, and Stormy in a bad spot. Snowy, Liliana has to stay alive for them to have a shot in this. And they finally complete the last tier 3 tower. And will they go for the GG push though? A huge super minion wave coming in bot, and this is it. It's gonna be GG. Lubu trying to buy time for Lunar like, but not enough. Once again, Hertz Emot, despite a rough late game, they still managed to close it out. Wow, that was really fun to watch. I mean, Lunar Light came so close with the comeback. We saw Yawn as well as Pena, who were played by Pommy as well as Rivalda respectively, did a really good job in the first half of the game. You know, pressuring every single lane, taking objectives, and just making life so miserable for Cloudy, who, you know, in my opinion, doesn't really have the support early game. But that's not because of Lunar Storm's fault. It's Lunar Light's fault. It's just a really tough game for them. Look at the scores right here: 7, 6, and 3. It tells the story. You know, those 4 deaths coming in early game gave the advantage that Hertz needed over there. But wow, what a game that was! And that instant switch as well. You know, for the side of Pompey, he switched out the Fenris talent right into the Fenris Tooth. So what this does is that it kind of gives a little bit more damage multiplier onto Windy, because the Vocab was just constantly trying to be a pain in the neck trying to create space needed for Lunar Light to have a chance in the fight, buying time for Cloudy to come in. Obviously Snowy as well with the Liliana, and Stormy was just split pushing throughout the entire game. But I gotta say, despite Hertz Emot picking that game 2 up, I have to give props to Rainy. A shout out to her Trixie. She's the reason why Lunar Light is constantly in this game despite getting destroyed in the first laning phase, because she's been constantly catching 2 to 3 members on the side of Emot, setting up all these ganks, using camouflage at the right time, getting the pull in, catching 2 to 3 members of Hertz Emot to set up the fight that is needed, allowing Snowy to go with the bomb, Cloudy with the shurikens. So big shout out to Rainy, but unfortunately for her, as the rest of Lunar Light, they lost game 2, so it all comes down to game 3 and whether or not they will be able to have this comeback. But for now, Hertz Emot feeling pretty good, getting 2 games on the road, and not only that, they are 1 game away from clinching that top spot in this qualifier. Remember, this whatever the result of this the games between Lunar Light and Hertz Emot, they both have already gone through. They've already qualified for FSL Elite, but now is where either of these teams want to come out as the champions of these qualifiers. With that being said, we still have potentially 1 more to go, or potentially 3 more to go. If Lunar Light does win 2 in a row, we might go to a game 5. But with that being said, let's go for a short break. When we're back, game 3 between Lunar Light and Hertz Emot. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FSL circuit. Man, what a game 2 we had between 2 of these teams. But my name is Aries, and I've been blown away by the second game. That was just a case of 2 halves where we saw Hertz Emot did really well in the first half of the game. Lunar Light came back, but then a small mistake in getting the Volcav got caught out in the bad position, allowed them to turn the game already complete the 2-0. But now this is where we see champions emerge. Let's go into game 3, shall we? Hertz Emot with the 2-0, like I said, and Lunar Light yet to pick up their first game against their opponents. They had a very smooth journey coming into the grand finals, but now finally the test is right in front of them. Remember, this is a BO5, so we could potentially see a 3-2 sweep, or we could even see Hertz Emot get the game done with this last, or rather what could be the last game. Kriegnack, Violet and Yenna for the side of Emot. Really standard lineup. Whereas on the side of Lunar Light, they pick up the Zero and Hayate. So no Yawn this time round. I can kind of understand why they kind of picked up the Violet. I think they want to go something a little bit more different. The previous game, they had this sort of a weird engagement where the Yawn was just blowing the side of Lunar Light away in the first 5 minutes of the game, just taking a lot of objectives, making it really hard for them to even rotate of any sort. But now, Hertz Emot, they pick up the Violet. I think they want to go for a little bit more burst. So something a little bit more balanced for the late game. There's Lunar Light. They will lock in the Zero and Hayate. And they ban out the Ras and Trixie, who ironically did really well for them. And they do ban out the Delchan. Interesting draft coming into first phase. They do pick up the Lubu. So that is one constant from the previous game. Same goes for the Hayate. And for those who are wondering what's the result between the third placing match, it's already done. So congratulations to Emot Hexa. They do cement their position as the third placing team in this particular qualifier. So that leaves Quasar Athena in 4th place. Annette getting banned out on the side of Hertz Emot. So if you notice, a lot of these heroes have AoE damage, especially with the Maja and the Zeno. They ban out the Annette for the utilities. And now over to the side of Lunar Light, they're target banning a lot of majors. So across the board, you're going to see the Trixie, as well as the ban coming up from the Ras and Delchan. I'm surprised to see who will be the mid. Will it be a D-Rock again? I don't think so. I really think a D-Rock wouldn't be too good over here, because this time around they have a Zeal. They can just jump onto the back line as compared to Liliana in the previous game, right? That being said, no majors on the board as of yet. Oh, so it looks like Lunar Light will pick up the D-Rock for themselves. So we're interested to see what Hertz pick up in their mid lane. They need someone that can kind of rotate pretty decently in the mid game phase. I think I had a little bit of an issue where I did not see the rotation coming up from the D-Rock in the mid game, and this is the issue with D-Rock, right? He's a slow moving character. Yes, he does have the Genesis issue. He does have the globe coming out with the stun, the Astrolope, and he also has the Fallen Star, which is quite a decent AoE damage. But in my opinion, he's just a little bit too slow. Like the pacing of the game is just so hard for D-Rock to catch up. Although I gotta say, Hertz Emot did make it look really easy with the D-Rock, but that's only because they have the Yon and the Pena setting up all these fights. You know, being very aggressive in the first phase of the game, getting the lead that they need for the entire draft to come up online. So you need to compensate depending on how your draft goes. So they have a Zeal, which is a really fast pace kind of character. They have Hayate, which is the late game. You know, Lubu kind of here and there. I feel that Lubu does come online early, and then he goes kind of missing in the mid game. Then he comes back online in the late game. That's just how I see Lubu, especially with his Conqueror and the lifesteal. But for the side of Hertz, they will pick up the Ignis and Teamy. Wow, not too bad. A bit of a zoning with the Ignis. I like it. It's a lot of bursts, especially with the Rain of Fire. But for Lunar Light, looks like the last pickup will be the Painter. So a little bit of a sustain to go along with the lifesteal of the Lubu, as well as the damage output of Hayate. And wow, I'm pretty surprised Lunar Light do have a very they do have a very substantial lineup. Like, they do have a very thick lineup, especially with the D-Rock right in front of the Genesis Shield. And then you have the lifesteal, you got the Painter to heal up. I'm intrigued. I really want to see how Lunar Light draft will play out. But yeah, with that being said, that is the draft for now. Ignis, Violet, Teamy, Yena, and Quickdown for the side of Hertz. Emot, while Lunar Light will go along with the Zeal, Lupu, Hayate, the D-Rock, as well as the Painter. So fun fact, the previous AoV qualifiers from Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, and Indonesia for the grand final, it was actually between these two teams as well. So they went underneath, they went under different names. So Lunar Light was actually DG Ladies, and then Hertz Emot went under the name of EVOS Esports. You can see the tag names over there. But yeah, the previous result didn't turn out too well for the likes of Lunar Light. It was actually a 3-1 victory for Hertz Emot. So this time round, all rivalries coming about, and they will be seeing one another again in Singapore when FSL Elite comes around. So we're gonna see a small pause come out from Lunar Light. I think Pena has been going through quite a bit of a change already. Like now, you know, her Forest Sentry does do a decent amount of damage, and plus it's just a little bit of a stun. But the irritating part about the Forest Sentry is that it kind of sets up the fight for a lot of things. Like we saw in the previous game with the Pena, you know, you drop the Forest Sentry, you allow the Yon to go in with the rain of arrows, and suddenly, you know, the target just gets bursted down instantly. And then you also have the healing light that helps with the healing, helps with the sustain in lane, and it just gives so much in that early first phase of the game where, you know, Yon just got babysitted. You know, it allowed Yon to just run rampage. And the good thing about the Pena is that she's a true and true, she's a real support true and true, right? You have Nature's Valley, you know, increase the armor, and at the same time you do reduce the movement speed of the opponents, and that helps as well, because if you look at it actually bots very well with her passive, which actually just does counter attack, and it slows down movement speed. So on top of Nature's Valley, when you attack Pena in that zone, you get slowed even more. And it looks like we are ready to head back into the game.
In 5 seconds. Prepare to engage.
Looks like we're gonna have the Violet at the bot lane this time round. Vivalda gonna be starting up to pull that Might Golem away.
What did you eat?
And that's gonna be a mid lane for Pena and D-Rock.
Sorry.
Now top lane Yena up against the Lubu. Pretty similar. I mean, Stormy and Lin, they have been going at each other's throats in the first and second game. But Windy will come up now. This is pretty much a first blood. Easy pick off on the side of Lunar Light.
Nature's grace.
And Reyna, like I said, Pena, it's always nice to have Pena on your team. Does help to sustain. Peaceful lane for Kira so far. No rotations kind of needed. Trying to hit the level 4 as fast as she can. Hayate. And you can see Hayate is just playing very passively right now. You can see Clouding having no intentions at all at participating in the fight, just poking from afar and retreating the moment the team gets a little bit too close. Violet now coming into the Abyssal Dragon area. Looks like we've got 9 members, or rather coming up right on top. Abyssal Dragon getting stolen away from Zil, but they might lose a couple of members alongside for that. Rainy will be the first one to drop without the Pena. They don't have the AoE heal, but that doesn't matter now. Lubu on the chase for Popme and Tezzy. Isn't able to really find anyone, and that is a good steal coming up from the Zil. And with the Teamy up, Pop Me can safely go back to base, although it's a 4-man rotation down to bot lane. Again, they want to get the kill onto the Teamy.
A blue team tower
Looks like
has
Lunar
been
will be more than
destroyed.
happy to pick up that tier 1 tower on the bottom side. Lubu stealing that away. The red stallion. Meanwhile, bottom side, you have the Lubu trying to hold up the lane. So we do see the swap of lanes really happening. Meanwhile, bot lane Teamy tried to go for the hunt right there. They will get the first tier tower in bot lane, but in the jungle, we do see Lean under siege right now. He's trying to push Windy back all the way to tier 2 base, or tier 2 tower, but that is not enough. But with the 3-man reveal at the top side, it looks like Hertz Emot will be able to secure the Abyssal Dragon. Windy kind of forced to use the ultimate right there. Can she save? No, she can't. She will pick up the tower. Rainy kind of forced to use the ultimate, but her team will not care about that. They will go in for the kill. Quick knock now in the air, trying to find a hunt right in the middle lane, but looks like Hertz, they really want to commit to this fight. Ignis here. Using the ultimate. Same goes for Rivalda, and they will fail to pick up that first tier tower in the top lane. And I presume the next step is naturally for Lunar like to push the top and middle, kind of leave Lubu against the likes of the Yena. Cloudy on the top side, Pena coming in, they commit to this fight right now. Hayate coming in with the shurikens as well, but Dirac is right on back, trying to catch up to the fight. Pena coming in with the stun, doesn't find anyone. The fallen sentries will not find anyone right there, but it is good damage onto the Violet, which means that they will have to back off right now. But here comes Windy, trying to find something in this fight. Under chase from Tazzy right now. They do manage to get the kill onto the Zeo, and here comes a turn. Poppy just get one more hit. They do recognize the threat of the Lubu. She's forced to use the sprint right there. She's catching up right on top. Does get the roll across the wall. And they might just be able to flip this one around. Stormy down to half HP. Teamy goes down for the second time in a row. Does have his ultimate. That will allow him to regen for free. Minutes 46 seconds in, both teams pretty even in net worth, only 1k between, or rather with Lunar like slightly beneath from Hertz Emot. It's slowly closing down as well, but that's going to be an Abyssal Dragon getting secured by the side of Lunar Light. Tezzy being chased down right now. And Zhu will be able to secure the kill on the Yena. Kind of a small sacrifice right there for Tezzy to get out of trouble. Force escape comes out for Yena. You can see Lunar like just rotating across the map. They want to secure this 1-0 now, being put back all the way back. Takes a tier 2 shot, and that is going to be once again the Zeo going down for pushing a little bit too far. Now Tezzy being under siege from Stormy as well. They do manage to get the quick knock, and they might get even more than that. And this time around, it is Lunar Light right in front 2K, and for the first time, Lunar Light conquering that early game phase.
A blue team tower has been destroyed.
Nevertheless, Lunar Light will once again get another tower in the back. Quick knock. Yeah, now slowly pushing on the top side. That's gonna be the next Abyssal Dragon up for taking. Both sides sharing a little bit of the Abyssal Dragon. Lunar Light with 2, Hertz Emot with 1. But more importantly, Lunar Light will pick up their Dark Slayer.
The great dragon has been summoned.
To be fighting by your side.
Kratos has been defeated.
Only up does come out for Violet, and Lunar Light this time round in a similar position against the Hertz Emot. They've got to make sure that they do not give the Violet the space to farm. But on the bright side, they have Hayate, which is a super late game ADC as well. I think they might just want to go for the trade, and here comes the rest of Lunar Light. They do manage to pick up the Ignis, and I'm pretty sure the Violet, if they can get Violet out of there. Oh, Genesis Shield nearly coming through, but they do not find the pickoff. And now you've got Teamy barely hanging on by a thread. Does get caught up by the Lubu and Hayate. And the fact that Tezzy can pick up her mic buff while all of that's happening, pretty lucky to me.
A blue team tower has been destroyed.
Violet needing a little bit more time to be able to farm those final 2 items.
A blue team tower has been
Decent damage
destroyed.
onto Lubu, however, Lunar Light will secure that tier 3 tower in the bot lane.
A blue team tower has been destroyed.
Lunar Light gonna be spreading out, waiting for the next Dark Slayer to come. That's gonna give them the drink and the meat shield needed to actually push into the middle tower. Or the top. Which makes a lot more sense to actually drop the drink right on top right there.
Onward! This is not your place!
Hertz Emot slowing down a little bit, but they do need a lot more time. They need time for the Violet to come online. They do find the pain out, but there's absolutely
Kratos
nothing they
has
can do
been
it.
defeated.
Meanwhile, Tazzy caught up in a 1v1 against Lubu. Definitely not the character that she was hoping for in her jungle. And that's gonna be the Dark Slayer for the side of Lunar Light as well. Is going to be able to kill, or rather clear that mid lane really quickly. But where is the Drake? Pena, Zio and Dirac trying to set up a gang right here. Hayate playing very tauntingly. They want to set the gang up. And now Violet trying her best as Pomni slowly strikes them down. They're trying their best right here, teaming with the stun. Somehow the Drake still at pretty much full HP, while Lubu as well as Zil try to push down the mid tower. And they finally do break into the base, but is this enough? Yes, Zero comes onto the back line. They might be able to get one, maybe able to get two as well. Jenna, second HP because of the ultimate coming from Timmy. Quick Knock trying to jump forth, trying to catch the Hayate, but Luna, like, they've got plenty of discipline. They know they got what they came here for, which is the tier 3 tower top side. And now Zhu jumping onto the back. They try to get the kill onto the Quick Knock, but the Pena is the first one to go down. Ignis now going back to base to try to clear the waves, prevent the backdoor. And because of those two Qs, that will give them the Rage Abyssal Dragon as well as Dark Blessing. I would have thought that would have gone mid because you have two heroes down. It's a 3v5. You could have just went for the middle tower. I felt like, you know, getting that super minion down the middle lane is a lot more worth it. But I can see why they choose to go for the Enraged Abyssal Dragon. I mean, it's always nice to have Dark Blessing. Oh, they steal the Dark Slayer right under the nose. And they will get the Timmy as well. I don't know if this is completely worth it, but Hertz Emot do manage to steal away the Dark Slayer with the smite. And Lunar like know what is needed. They cannot let the team come up just in time. That's going to be the Ignis. They might be able to get one. Oh, but Zero managed to get the character that he wants, and that's going to be the Violet. Nubu is going to go down. But that is a pretty fair trade, and now it looks like Lunar Light wants to end the game right here, right now. But they're taking a lot of damage from the tower. Despite that, they still have one more creep. And they do lose Hayate, but this is pretty much GG. The wave will come in, and it's too much for Hertz to hold. And finally, Lunar Light will get one game in the bag. I mean, Hertz, they have been dominant in the first two games, but finally, Lunar Light showing what they are made of. The Never Die Say spirit. They pick up the Hayate, and I felt like the Violet was a little bit too greedy for me. I thought if Hertz just ran with what they had, picking up the Yawn, that would have been a lot better. But that being said, The Violet did run pretty decently towards the late game, decent damage alongside the Ignis. They also have a Quick Knight, but they just didn't have that, fear factor coming in the first half of the game, because there's really nothing that the Violet can do. She just doesn't really hurt too much. You can just not stand the face, but hold the lane without worrying too much about taking a couple of shots to the face. And then the only real hero that you have to look out early game for her against Hertz is only the Yenna. And look at items right now. I think Violet did go for the Death Sickle, which is pretty decent. It does keep her in the fight for a couple more seconds, especially when you have a 0 on the opponent team where they will try to burst you down. So it's a pretty good item pickup, but it was just that the draft just didn't work out too well, in my opinion. I think Yon would have been better. At least an MM that can come online in the opening game, just so that you don't have to sacrifice too much time trying to farm. With that being said, that was pretty good. It's going to be a 2-1. Still in the favor of Hertz Emot, but Lunar Light starting to show signs of a comeback as they win the first game in this best of 5 series. We'll go for a short break, but when we're back, game 4 between Lunar Light and Hertz Emot. Alright, welcome back to game 4 between Hertz Emot and Lunar Light, with Hertz Emot having 2 games in hand, and we just saw Lunar Light claim the first game between their opponents. So let's just jump right into the draft, shall we? Gonna be pretty interesting. We got Lunar Light on the blue side, and Hertz Emot gonna be playing on the red this time round. We also got a Zip getting played. Well, it looks like Hertz Emot will settle for the Zeno as well as the Florentino. I can't say I still cannot get over why. I cannot get over the fact that Hertz Emot gave up the Yon. I felt like they should have just run. Maybe they were trying to test things out, right? See, how far we can push without the Yon. But I felt like with a Yon that would have been a lot better, because they would just went a little bit too late game as compared to the first 2 games where having the Yon does help with that rotation. Maybe they want to experiment. You know what? We'll try playing without Yon.
Red team's turn.
Looks like they will be picking up a Darcy. Oh, we finally do see a T coming up from Lunar Light, so that is pretty interesting. We did not see a T played at all throughout. I don't think we have ever seen a T being played.
Blue team's turn to ban.
So I'm looking through the numbers as well as the stats for the heroes getting picked up. So yeah, no T played throughout the entirety of the tournament, which is pretty weird, because T is not too bad of a hero. It was picked one time in the Thailand qualifiers.
Blue team's turn to ban.
But that is pretty much it. Like, we don't have too much numbers coming over T. We do see the Violet and Yon getting banned out in this banner, as well as Hayate. So both teams had enough of the MMs getting played on the opposite side. They will ban them out. And this is already banned out, so they need someone that can help them kind of push. I think Whips would be a really good choice here. The only downside that I see with pick up the Whips would be the movement
Turn to pick.
that they have to do. But a lot of AoE damage on lineup of Hertz Emot. Well, Lunar like. My eye is twitching a little bit. Something tells me that we might see a whips. Up a Stephanie might be possible. We haven't seen a Stephanie so far, that being said. Same goes for L'Oreal. Oh, wow. Okay, so Lunar Light picking up a very, very different draft as compared to what we've seen throughout the entire FSL qualifiers. They pick up a T, L'Oreal, and Stephanie, all three heroes with really low pick rates coming into this current meta. And I still stand by my statement. I think the whips will be really good, and now they do lock in the whips. So yeah, that makes the most amount of sense. So that is gonna be the draft that we are looking at. Stephanie, L'Oreal, Zip, T, and Zil.
10 seconds remaining.
Whereas on the side of Hertz Emot, they will be picking up the Zeno, Whips, Marlock, Darcy, and Florentino. I gotta say, it's not too surprising on the side of Hertz to pick up this draft. We have seen them play something really, really similar. But for Lunar Light's draft, that is pretty refreshing. Like there's Stephanie, a Zip, a L'Oreal, T, not other than the Zip, you know, all of these other heroes have really low pick rates.
Welcome to Arena of Valor. Get ready. Minions will be deployed in 5 seconds. Prepare to engage.
So I definitely do want to see if Hertz Emot will go a little bit aggressive with the Marlock. Lunar Light. Let's see if I think Rainy wanted to go for the angry there, but did not manage to spot him out. And despite all of that, Hertz will still be able to secure that Sentinel. Sentinel running into the L'Oreal down in the bottom, and they're gonna go back. I would love to see Hertz Emot play a bit more aggressively, especially with the Marlock. Wendy taking a little bit of the swing of that blade. Lunar Light have to be really careful. They cannot afford to make the mistake that they did in game 1, where they gave the whips a lot of space to farm. And now this is gonna be the first Abyssal Dragon of the game. Lunar Light just making use of the Zip.
First blood.
Well, once again, it is the Zil that will get the first blood onto the top side, onto Florentino. Still pretty even other than the first blood standing between the two of us. Obviously we saw Lunar like pick it up. The Abyssal Dragon is up. I want to see Hertz do a little bit of rotation. Same goes for Lunar Light. They are playing a lot better. In this recent games you have Zero that's constantly rotating. Windy has been playing a really good game. T in top lane playing a little bit hard to fight against the Florentino and Darcy. This is the reason why we do see the Zero coming up to support. And now they try to jump onto Zeno. The shield can only last them so long, and he will be the first one to go down. And once that rune goes down, so will Zeno. So will Whips. That's gonna give T a little bit of space to farm. A little bit of a push coming up from Akira as well. While Florentino has to hold the top lane on his own. Zero once again with the rotation, and here comes the Storm. They will buy a bit of time on the top lane with that. And they will also get the kill onto the T. Meanwhile, bot lane, Cloud trying to abuse, and look at the damage dealt. Baldi definitely doing a lot better coming into this game. They're applying a lot of pressure down the bot lane as well. Once she gets the fairy talent, she looks really, really scary. Now first Abyssal Dragon got Lunar Light. They are stepping into second gear, making things a lot faster. L'Oreal at the top side.
A red team tower has been destroyed.
Easy pickup. And they are abusing the Stephanie right now. They definitely do want to make sure that the whips is kept in check. But more importantly, with the support of the Zip, they are able to just push down the bot lane. And just shove it so hard that it's hard for Hertz to even come back from that. Meanwhile, mid-lane Moloch against Snowy. T taking quite a bit of damage. Zeno coming in with the ultimate, and it's the Florentino that most likely will go down. Zeno coming in the nick of time, but not enough heal, and the Storm will catch the L'Oreal in the bad spot. And Zeno is the target. They will get the L'Oreal eventually. And the Zero will also get the mark. 7 and 2, 2k
A
gold
red
for
team
Lunar.
tower has been destroyed.
Well, he might have taken a little bit too much damage from there, but here comes the ultimate from Persephone. One more hit, and it's going to be the Zip that gets the kill onto the whips.
A red team tower has been destroyed.
Storm will come and does catch onto Persephone, or rather the T. But immediately Lunar, like, they bought the space on bot lane, they will rotate to Abyssal Dragon.
Has been defeated.
Here we go.
And for those who did not notice, Laurel actually did pick up Purify, so this is just to prevent herself from getting stunned up by both the Zenio and Marlock. That would be a really bad situation in which the whips can just blow her down instantly. Emot coming up for Marlock. Now we've got a T and Stephanie switching lanes. Meanwhile, Zenio will walk straight into a 3-man gank. He's down to a quarter of HP right now, trying desperately to walk backwards. The storm comes through for the Marlock, does manage to capture up the Zero, but Zero will use Flicker to get over the wall. That's going to be the Stephanie pick up yet another kill. 6 assists, 1 kill for Cloudy. She's a really happy Stephanie. And they will give her the Spirit Sentinel. Oh, she's taking everything. She's not even giving that small jungle creep to Pop Me. 10 minutes, 35 seconds. They are working on the Dark Slayer.
The great dragon has been summoned.
Roars shall echo throughout the
Hertz are having a little bit of tough time to 7 draft, not gonna lie. They've been doing really well in the opening phases, but after the first Black from Zero, they are having a taste of that matter, you know, getting ganked in the top lane.
A blue team tower has been destroyed.
Stephanie doing what she can to shred Zenio for a little bit. Meanwhile, it is a 5-man rotation to the top side, but it's like Lunar like are not interested in committing in this fight. The Storm is used but doesn't find anyone. Zenio will come in with the ultimate as well. He committed 5-man and 2 big ultis in that smallest engage. And now they want to secure this one tier 2 tower.
A red team tower has been destroyed.
Stormy waiting on the back line. They do manage to clear the tower away, and now they want to go for the kills. Storm is a good storm as well. Comes in, catches 3 men, and instantly they want this fight. Zeno comes up, and the heal will keep the Moloch alive for a couple more seconds. They get the Zeal, and they are now on the hunt. That being said, they do respect the damage put up by both the Stephanie as well as the Laurel, and they will back off, as there's some lane clearings to do. And Lunar like will settle for the jungle buffs. Good storm there coming up from Akira. Remember the last time that these two fought in the qualifiers last season? They both ended, or rather they ended in a 3-1 with the results going the way of Hertz Emot this time round. Lunar like trying to change that result. And now they have managed to separate the T apart, but no follow-up action as of yet, as Whips will focus on taking that tier 1 on the top lane. Darkslayer is up, and looks like Lunar side. Look at that, they're trying to form a boundary so that their heroes can take it safely. Zeal already working on it. And it's down to half HP right now. Zeno goes in. Moloch with the Storm. Windy will flicker out, and now onto the back line. They're trying to pull a fight on their own. Zip with the roll. And they do lose the T. And look at Darkslayer, it has to be reset, and that is going to be a 4-man pickup. Lunar Light could not commit to that fight. And now they lose 4 members. Looks like it's going to be a pause coming up from the blue team. But that is one bad engagement coming up from Lunar Light. And with that, I'm pretty sure that Hertz Emot are going to pick up the Darkslayer. I mean, they spent a good amount of time trying to work on Darkslayer, and I think Zeal just took a little bit too much damage. By the time, you know, Hertz Emot got to them, you can see Lunar Light were really hesitant to go for the fight because they knew they didn't have the Zeal, who was focused on picking up the Darkslayer, and the rest of the team just got shredded to pieces.
Double kill! Double kill! A blue team tower has been destroyed.
So it looks like they want as many objectives as they can get on the map. They do get the Abyssal Dragon, and they will get the Darkslayer as well.
The Abyssal Dragon Kratos has been defeated!
Team tower has been destroyed.
They easily tick up the tier 1 on the bot lane. They have 2 big waves coming in, and look at how quickly the Swift is going to take it up. Zeno going to be taking up that fight, but now T comes on the back line, but that is a bad position. The Storm comes in. Zip will follow through as well, brings 3 members alongside of him, but look at the AoE damage. They do not have enough. Zeno comes in, they get the stun down, and Stephanie is caught onto the back line. She's dived a little bit too far. 2 crit, 2k damage coming up from the whips. It's going to get a 1 hit, and suddenly it's a 5-3-1. Well, Zip delivered the goods, but the goods wasn't enough. And Lunar Light are in a very, very bad spot.
A blue team tower has been destroyed.
Are they looking to end the game right here? Yes, it is. And it's going to be a 3-1. Deja vu has struck. And it's going to be the same exact result as last year's qualifiers, where Lunar Light fell short. And this time around, it is the same once again. Congratulations to Hertz. They finally pulled it through. And with that, it is a 3-1 victory for them, man. It's just so hard to bring them down. Hertz Emot, they were on the down in the first half of the game, with the Stephanie just pulling through. Look at Cloudy's score, 2-2 and 6, and without a doubt was doing really well in the bot lane. And Windy as well, with Zero getting the first blood at the top side against the Florentino, but there was just no way they could bring the game back the moment that the whips got farmed. Look at that. A pretty stacked whips. That was a really tough game. I was really surprised with the Eclipse Sancti first, but that gave that, you know, it does give a little bit of a movement speed to the whip, so that helped quite a bit. Pretty standard lineup, you know, the Muramasa as well as the Slick Sting. I wouldn't be too surprised about that. But that being said, congratulations once again to Hertz Emot. They hadn't had the easiest of run against Lunar Like, but before that they were just stomping every team. But now, like I said, just like last year, Lunar Like will fall short right in front of the champions of this qualifiers, this combined qualifiers. And man, this has been a really good qualifiers. I mean, I'm pretty excited to see, and that will complete all of teams that will be coming into Singapore for the FSL Elite that will be happening pretty soon. If you want to catch up on dates as well as the past VODs and matchups, remember to follow us on Facebook as well as Instagram. That's where all of our news are. I'm pretty excited to see the teams when they come down to Singapore. With that being said, a big shout out to our sponsors, Dreamcall, Super Solid, Yahoo, and Aftershock, as well as all the viewers that have been watching with us. Remember, like I said, to follow social media. If you like my stuff, remember to follow me on Facebook as well as Instagram at 0aries0, or you can go to facebook.com/thisisaries. That is where my social media are. With that being said, thank you once again to all of you guys who have been watching. And next time I see you, it will be at the FSL Elite. See you next time.